Okay, so good morning, Mr. Versosa, and good morning to the rest of my classmates. Today, we will be presenting our social enterprise business proposal, and we are Nepomuceno Streaming Service. So, yes, as evident by the name, we are a streaming service business. So, to introduce me and my group mates, the presenters for today will be me, Ralph Gabriel S. Mendiola, Aaron Joshua A. Mendoza, Mary Christine Loris D.R. Escanio, and Dylan T. Parando of course, grade 11, Archdiocese of Haro. So for the quote of the day, we have a quote that came from prominent director Mr. Martin Scorsese, and according to him, movies touch our hearts and awaken our vision and change the way we see things. They take us to other places, they open doors and minds. Movies are the memories of our lifetime, and we need to keep them alive. So before we go on to the actual proposal, allow us to present you some visual representation of the following. So binge watching. I'm sure we're all familiar of that. Exploring new films and movie night with families and friends. So these activities are, of course, the prevalent activities that we have been doing ever since the quarantine started and the global
Yeah.
pandemic emerged. Um, these activities have been so much prevalent in the current time. So, according to the BBC News, the Wall Street Journal, and USA Today, there has been a massive streaming surge during lockdown as the global pandemic continues. As mentioned, the action of streaming service has actually gone globally. In fact, worldwide viewing time grew 44% in the last 3 months of 2020 compared with the same period a year ago. So why did we propose this business? So first reason is based on the given data. So it is observed that the popularity of streaming services has briskly increased over the course of the pandemic, and it is also expected to continue its expansion even after it is over. So the second is changing perspective. So when people think of Netflix, binge watching, movie night, and any of the sort, they think of it as an act of laziness, a technique to promote procrastination. Well, as opportunists and innovators, we want to change this point of view, creating a business wherein people enjoy their leisure time while at the same time helping out other people, which is in itself a masterpiece. Other reasons include boosting the film and acting industry, wherein it is very much known from its competitive environment. And since we will be giving different opportunities from different artists of the said industry, we will be boosting the film and acting industry. Another reason is the preservation of films. So nowadays, we tend to undermine the many produced films of cinema and history of motion pictures, which laid the foundations for many great films and TV shows. So, as we continue to move forward towards innovation, the development this goal, since we can all visit any film, show, or video that we want with just a few swipes from our fingers. And the last reason is, of course, since we are a social enterprise, is to provide support for the field of education. So, of course, this is once again a social enterprise, and our main goal is to provide opportunities to many aspiring students and to assist in the creation of different schools to provide a better picture for the world of tomorrow. So for our executive summary, so for the next 5 years, we plan on gaining at least 500,000 viewership members, which will ensure us a great start to further elevate and expand our capabilities to provide better service. Moreover, we also plan on going international for the upcoming years, and this number of subscribers will help us boost our chances. And in terms of our location, a small store on All Home Taguig. Now, the beauty of creating a streaming service business is that you can start anywhere. As long as we are able to supervise or monitor our website and created platform, we can do it on any place. But of course, everyone has to start somewhere. So our goal for the next 5 years is to hopefully start in a small location, like what was said, then expand our IT department for as long as we continue to make a profit.
Okay.
Now, what do we offer? As a streaming service business, we offer a variety of films and TV shows of every distinction. No need to worry about individual preferences because we both offer local and international favorites. Moreover, we also offer original content as we are building our brand not just through our services, but also for our strong valuation of creativity towards different artists, aspiring or established. We also have what we call a watch tracker, which is a new feature of our platform that monitors each individual's watch count, but not the content itself in order to preserve the right of our members to privacy. So what does this entail? Now, for every film or one episode of a show, a school kit will be given to different educational institutions. For every 10 film or 20 episodes in a series, a donation will be made to different struggling educational centers in dire need of rebuilding. Now, for every 100 or 200 episodes in a series, a scholarship program will be granted to one aspiring student. And since we also provide incentives for our audience, now for every achievement that they will achieve in the Watch Tracker, they will receive an unreleased new film or series of their choice depending on what we can access. Now, for the vision and mission of our social enterprise business, Nepomuceno, in continuous pursuit of excellence, aims to provide the best cinematic experience for our viewers, no matter where they are, by giving them unlimited access to motion pictures and television series of all types, by prioritizing every distinction and genre of their preferences, by imparting a faster loading of content, and by staying up to date for the latest films and shows created by prominent and aspiring
Okay,
artists.
stop na yan. Okay na yan.
Sige po, sir.
Question ko lang, saan ang galing yung Nepomuceno? Who is
Ah,
Nepomuceno?
Sir Nepomuceno actually came from is actually based on the father of Philippine movies, which is Jose Nepomuceno po. So we want to promulgate once again our locally made cinemas. So that is why we named our social enterprise after him po.
Okay. Yung vision and mission, basahin ko na lang yan. So, next.
Sige. So for the macro environmental assessment, our pest analysis, so we have five factors which is inside the political factors. Sir, do you want to choose on what we will be explaining po in terms of each factor?
So, later na lang sa SWOT na lang. Sige, skip. Gusto ko lang makita yung mga factors.
So skip na din po sir lahat po ng pest.
Yeah. Dadaanan din naman natin sa sa SWOT. So, no problem. I just
Okay.
want to see the restriction. Yeah. Okay.
Sige po.
Okay. Ang dami, no? So, aabot ng 620 siguro yun. Micro, yes? Next.
This sir, skip din po ang part na ito.
Hindi, yung porters. Sige, check mo muna. Next. Sorry, I have to do that.
Location. No, it's okay lang po, sir. That's our proposed location for our first office. Then this also is our plan in terms of branches. So, skip na din po ba, sir?
Pag startup naman kayo, no, you may start naman kahit yung iba sa bahay lang nila eh.
Hello po, sir. Naglag po kayo. So, should we skip this part po?
Sige, next.
Okay. Yes, that will be our target customers po for this slide, which is everyone. Then, industry analysis. Is this skip na din po, sir? Industry analysis.
Okay. Sige, check ko na lang. Next.
So, moving on na po ba tayo for the SWOT, sir?
Sige, next lang. Next.
We also have the general description of the industry.
Okay.
And then the current barriers and challenges faced by the current industry.
Yan.
And
the global pandemic.
sige po, sir.
Lack of capital, yep, correct. Technical errors, yun. Yung copyright, no, yan yung kaya si Netflix, gumawa sila ng sarili nilang shows to escape the copyright. Advertisement, yeah.
So, next slide na po, sir.
Next.
We also have the competitive analysis din po. Yan. So, main local competitors, which is I1TFC, owned by ABS-CBN and its location. Then other international competitors. It should be noted din po na in terms of on a local scale, we only have I1TFC as our competitor since it is the only streaming service in the Philippines. Then for the other international competitors, we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and many more. So,
Si GMA ba wala? GMA TV.
to our knowledge, sir, so far wala po.
Okay. Check ko nga. Okay. Sige, next.
Porter's 5 Forces na po, sir. Ito po ba, hindi naman po isi-skip na.
Ang ganda ng office nila.
So, sir, Porter's 5 Forces na po ba?
Yes.
Sige po.
Medyo may delay po. Sorry. Talaga.
Sige lang po, sir.
LDT. Sige. Porter's 5 Forces.
So, my group mates will now be taking on for this slide. May I call them out po?
So, for the first Porter's 5 is rivalry among competing firms. First is low on a local level, high on an international level. First is number of competitors, local scale, international scale. Second is distinctive characteristics amongst competitors. On a local scale, it is very low because only modern films and TV shows are being distributed by the ABS-CBN brand. Second is on an international scale, it is also high because everyone is producing original content either by hiring already established actors or young prodigies. Next. Third is the ongoing growth of the industry. As previously stated, due to the pandemic, the streaming service business have grown.
Hello, sir. Did you say next po? Or... Hello,
Next.
sir. Sir, next part of the Porter's 5 analysis or next slide po? Hello, sir.
Sige lang, continue lang.
Sige, Tin, please continue.
As I was saying, the ongoing growth of the industry, as previously stated, due to the pandemic, the streaming service business have grown at a great amount. Thus, rivalry will be at a higher stake. Fourth is quality diversity. On a local scale, there is much diversity of products. As a result, opportunity for growth increases. On an international scale, there is also much diversity of products as everyone is trying to build their own brand without being reliant on the quality of other streaming services. And last one is future assets. Both are extensive on a local and international level as the acting industry always increases and many aspiring actors wants to make it big. Moreover, prominent actors are also looking to take on future projects more often.
Okay. Doon na mismo sa Porter's 5. Ay. Okay. Martin. Yeah. Sige, next.
Tin, please continue for number 2.
Ay. Okay.
Hello?
Diretso mo na sa
Number-
Porter's 5. Porter's 5, Miss Escanio. Doon na natin titignan.
Sir, that is our Porter's 5 na po. We disseminated each factor po, sir. So, depending on each level.
Okay. So, okay. Tingnan ko na lang yung sa taas, yung heading. Number 3.
Sige po, sir. Yan. Bargaining power of suppliers is on a low po in term as stated by our research.
Okay. Pero
Then,
unti-unti nagiging medium na siya, unti-unti. Low, high.
Then
Okay.
potential entry of new competitors are high din po since everyone is trying to build their own brand. Thus, everyone is being encouraged to start making a business on the streaming service platform, streaming service and content creation industry po. So it's high. And for the last one is the potential development of substitute products. It wasn't indicated pero it's supposed to be low po since CDs and DVDs are being rendered obsolete due to the flexibility offered by the streaming service platforms po.
Okay, I have a question. Sorry. Doon sa substitute products, napapirate ba yung mga shows? Let's say sa Netflix.
Sir, I haven't di po kami sure, sir. We're not entirely sure regarding on that po. But in terms of other websites po, I think they are easily pirated. I think one of the best qualities of Netflix is that
I think ang substitute nga is piracy.
Sir, our substitute po is bootleg CDs po, but since they are actions of illegal matters po, I think these can be taken into action naman po.
Okay. Pakibalik yung number 4.
Potential entry of new competitors po, sir.
High.
Yes po, sir, high. Since
pwede kasing more on moderate, pero pwede na ring high. Pero right now, it's more moderate.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so next.
So for our next is the SWOT analysis. So take it away for my group mates for the strengths.
Strengths. Number 1, the streaming service is a new medium that verifies longevity. As stated earlier and proven by many articles, the streaming service will continue its domination towards content distribution for a very long time. The flexibility that it provides towards members is a quality that no one wants to see gone. As experienced and driven individuals, our different ideas for innovation will certainly justify its longevity even more. Multiple opportunities are found in this type of business, and we know the path towards these. And lastly, everyone loves taking control of their watch list, more so if the executives are able to relate their difficulties. Number 2, extensive library. Since we value the preservation of both cinema history, whether it be local or international, we are able to provide much more content from our members. Unlike other streaming service business, we don't just plan on exploring a rich culture, we also plan on exploring other countries' films or film history or origins to ensure our viewers that we are not just paying respect and homage to our own made products. The making of different original content under our brand. And lastly, theatrical plays will also be included in our provided content. Number 3. New features and opportunity. We give opportunities to outcasts and those who are undermined in the acting and filmmaking industry. Our platform also features a watch tracker with many benefits and incentives. We value the creative freedom of our artists. Being transparent as a social business enterprise will enable us to gain the trust of our audience. Lastly, everything that is being done is for a good cause. Number 4. Certified cinephiles. As a young aspiring entrepreneurs, we have the ability to mix tastes and preferences in order to find balance towards creativity. As a member of young generation, we also know how to navigate ourselves toward different trends online. This also means that we can also engage in the production, screenplay, and directing as aspect of our business, not just the business side. We are able to distinguish what is needed in our product and services to make it more interesting. Lastly, we are easily familiar with the different films and shows that we want to claim rights for a streaming platform. Number 5. Technical, analytical, and marketing skills. As each one of us executive of the proposed company are experienced going back from all business high school students, ABM students and senior high school, and planning to take up different courses which are all related into business, accounting, and commerce. We are able to navigate ourselves into the industry. We are also capable of providing a strong marketing and advertising plan for our company. We are all driven to always refine our products, especially with regards to original content. Lastly, we are all opportunistic and motivated.
For our weaknesses, may I call on Mr. Mendoza to preside regarding this?
For our weaknesses, for number one, small capital. Uh, Despite having multiple ideas, it should be recognized that every action is based off on capital. None of us are absolute millionaires, thus we have to start from the bottom. The possibility of decline rather than growth is somewhat high. We have to further expand our credibility without wasting too much from our capital. And every expenditure counts. Next. For number two, obtaining copyright for both local and international films and shows. As executive as a service company, it will be difficult for us to establish credibility in order to proclaim the rights of different and already made art forms. Only if you are willing to take chances on the underdogs of an industry already established and safe are much more preferred by different copyright owners than fresh releases. Lastly, it detriments were to happens to our business, we will be in much debt. For number three, building your brand through original content. While it is in fact an opportunity for aspiring actors to be given the chance to make an original content, this puts the executive at much higher risk if does not capture the attention of our audience. Many people judge a book by its cover. Not everyone wants to discover new faces, and they are mostly reliant on trends. For number four, unfamiliarity. If we are only able to produce low budget independent films with unknown artists in the long run, many people will disregard our product. No one wants to try our uh, no one No one wants to try out a product that is unknown to the market. We will go nowhere if we cannot establish relevance in our brand. And one wrong move from our capital will cause the downfall of our business. And lastly, for number five, lack of IT professionals. If we cannot act on the design of our user interface, nothing else will matter. Since we all live in an era dominated by technological advancement, the lack of expertise will not make it easier. Navigating through the content creation industry will not be possible. And lastly, everything will remain a plan.
For our opportunities, may I once again call on Christina Escanio?
Stop na.
So,
No need.
Stop na
Stop
po
na.
ba, sir?
Check, scan ko na lang.
Okay po, sir. So,
A chance
yan
to
po.
reach out.
Yes. Then,
Ongoing.
now our second is the ongoing increase of artists in the entertainment industry. The third is there is only one locally owned streaming service in the Philippines, as mentioned previously. Number four is the exploration on new technology. So this pertains to innovation. And number five is, of course, the global pandemic. Now, why? Because since we are all stuck in our homes, isolated, many people will have more chance and will have more time to make use of many streaming
Yes.
platforms. So,
Ang dami pa, no? Ang dami pa actually. Pero
yes
okay na
po,
yung
sir.
5. Yung
So,
threats,
Threads is the first and big and already established names, especially in the Western countries such as Netflix,
Yeah.
HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and many more. The second is certainly government policies now, since some governments have specific limitations in terms of the import and export of content. Provided content for our viewers will be at much risk. So, the third is
Okay.
being too
Okay.
transparent, and yes, of course, the fourth, as mentioned previously, is piracy and the use of torrent for video downloading. And lastly is, of
Yeah,
course,
yun
the
yung
global
pinakamalaking threat.
pandemic.
Actually, that's the number 1. Hindi mo pwede ilagay dalawa, opportunity at threat.
This, sir, allow me to explain lang po. So, the global pandemic is in itself an opportunity because since many people will have more time to visit streaming service platforms, then our subscription will increase. Now, why is this also a threat? So, due to the pandemic, numerous productions of films and TV show projects were put on hold. So if the global pandemic were to continue in a longer time period, our profitability will likely decrease since, as previously mentioned, the production of different content creation has been postponed and we are not moving faster. No new content will be available for our members. Moreover, the acquisition of international films and shows will be finalized at a much longer time period.
Hindi,
And lastly, platform will not be updated on a daily basis. So, ayun po, sir. Sir, may tanong po kayo? Hello?
Oh! Ayun, hello? Mr.
Hello,
Menjola?
sir? Yes po, sir.
I think you should not write the global pandemic, but rather yung force majeure itself.
So, on another technical term na lang po, no, sir, yes. Hello?
Yeah. Kasi pandemic doon, as well,
Hello, sir? Hello?
ay ng force majeure. So, with that, no, great job for the team of Mr. Mendoza, and Stanyo, and kasama niyo ba si Perando? Yeah, Miss Perando. Yeah.
Yes po, sir. So, ayan, dadaan na lang po natin. We also have those analysis, but since we don't have much time, thank you all so much for listening. We are once again Nepomuceno Streaming Service.
Kaya ba pakita yung toast lang para makita lang ng class? I'll just
Sige po,
want
sir.
to scan lang.
Ayan po, sir. So, SO,
idea.
Strengths and Opportunities Analysis. Pasabi na lang po, sir, if you're done scanning.
Scan lang tayo. Okay, ayun, no? Okay, ang dami. Okay.
Next na po ba, sir?
So, okay na yan. So, if I will be nitpicking, you have put there yung sa group of people, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sana na ilagay yung matching na, let's say, S1 and S2 plus O1 and O3. Parang gano'n. Yun lang naman. Speaking.
Sige
Pero,
po, sir. Next time
overall,
po, sir. Next time po, sir. Siguro po. If gagawa
overall,
po.
your presentation is excellent.